Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, today this Honorable House and all Jamaica mourns one of our most gifted sons, James Jimmy Cliff Chambers, who was not only an ordinary star, but indeed a global superstar. He was a cultural architect who helped shape how the world sees and understands Jamaica. From Somerton in St. James to the grand stages of Europe, Africa, the Americas and beyond, his voice carried our struggles, our hopes, and our irrepressible spirit. As a young man growing up, I remember when his early hits began to filter through on my little transistor radio and the sound systems that were across my parish and were the feature of the musical instrumental reproductions of the time. So long before data and streaming numbers, you could measure Jimmy Cliff's impact on the way people stopped to listen. In the hope in their eyes could be seen also when songs like Many Rivers to Cross, The Harder They Come, and You Can Get It If You Really Want It, came on. He gave voice, Madam Speaker, to the ambitions of a new Jamaica, just emerging into independence and eager to take its place on the world stage. His genius was not confined to the recording studio. Through his unforgettable role in The Harder They Come, he helped to put Jamaican film and music on a global map in one powerful stroke. That film, Madam Speaker, and his performance in it changed how the world saw reggae, how it saw Jamaican people, and how it understood the relationships between struggle, dignity, and triumph. For tourism, that visibility was transformational. Long before many visitors set foot on our shores, it was Jimmy Cliff's music and image that first carried them here in their imagination. His songs became part of the soundtrack of Brand Jamaica, used by travel agents, filmmakers, and advertisers and promoters as a shorthand for our warmth, our energy, and our unique cultural flair. In many ways, he was a one-man global marketing campaign for Jamaica, authentic, compelling, and impossible to ignore. Our tourism statistics tell one story. Jimmy Cliff's influence tells another. The countless visitors who say, I came to Jamaica because of the music and the movies, are very often talking about him. Whether, indeed, Madam Speaker, they realized it or not. The harder they came, is the more they felt the power of the global curiosity that Jamaican life and culture offered. His songs, played in airports, hotels, cruise ships, and festivals across the world, turned that curiosity into deep emotional connection. That connection is at the heart of why people choose Jamaica over and over again. Not just for the sand, sea, and sun, but for a feeling they first encountered through the voices of people like Jimmy Cliff. One of the proudest moments of my public life, Madam Speaker, was on March 28, 2019, when we stood together in Montego Bay to officially rename the Gloucester Avenue as the Jimmy Cliff Boulevard. I remember looking up at the new sign and thinking how fitting it was that the very heart of our hip strip trod by millions of visitors, would now bear the name of a son of Somerton who had carried Jamaica to the world. That day, as Jimmy Cliff expressed how much it meant to him to be honored in his parish of his birth, you could feel the love flowing not just from the crowd, but from the city itself. It was as if Montego Bay was embracing its own. Over the years, I had the privilege of sharing many platforms and quiet conversations with him. Despite the Grammys, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Order of Merit, and all the global acclaim, Jimmy Cliff remained grounded, reflective, and deeply spiritual. Indeed, when you walk through the community of Somerton, where he had his early beginnings and had relationships with the former Prime Minister, P.J. Patterson, as well as the Honorable Dr. Harold Blair, Lenny Littlewhite, his cousin, and a number of other outstanding citizens from the great little community of Somerton in East Central St. James. You feel the pride of the community. And Madam Speaker, when we had a reunion at Somerton recently with the Most Honorable P.J. Patterson and Lenny Littlewhite and a number of others, Jimmy Cliff was there, and he committed to working and building out areas in the community. And one of the decisions that was taken, Madam Speaker, and the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Education might have an interest in this, is to name the Somerton Primary School that he and Prime Minister P.J. Patterson went to as students, the Jimmy Cliff School of Excellence in the Arts for Primary Schools. And that is a position that the entire community embraced, and that I proffer today for consideration by our Minister of Education. So to me, Jimmy was not just a legend of stage and screen, but a friend and brother from East Central St. James. His journey from a rural district to world icon status is a powerful reminder of what talent, discipline, and faith can achieve when matched with opportunity. For our tourism workers, our creatives, our young people in the inner cities and rural communities, Jimmy Cliff's story is a living textbook in perseverance and possibilities. Jamaica is better because Jimmy Cliff lived, and the world is richer because he sang. His voice will continue to echo in hotels, on cruise ships, in concert halls, in films, on Jimmy Cliff Boulevard, and in the hills of Somerton, where it all began. On behalf of the people of the great constituency of East Central St. James, and certainly the wider fraternity of friends and the countless visitors who were first introduced to Jamaica through the music of Jimmy Cliff, I extend heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and the fans across the world. May his soul rest in peace, and may his legacy forever guide us as we continue the work of building a Jamaica that the world comes to experience and that every Jamaican is proud to call home, because Jimmy James Chambers lived. Thank you, Madam Speaker.